Mic check 1, 2. 1, 2. Mic check, 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 check.
All right. Hello, everybody. Sorry about the technology issues, but we're now, we're going to start. Sorry. Seth, do you want to have this just to call time if they don't see it? All right. Okay. So just like on Tuesday, all technology should be put away unless you are holding your phone up to take a picture of the QR code that's directly in front of you or like near your sections. Yeah. Okay. So for the first people, oh my gosh, yes. Oh my God, there's so many of me.
Can I make a quick comment too?
Yes.
Hey y'all, so this for today we're going to be a little bit different for the timing. The times are pretty much the same besides president and vice president, but I have signs. We have 30 seconds left. We have a 15 seconds left. That will be in blue if you cannot read that far. So if you could see the color difference, and then I have a stop sign. So yeah, just
Hey,
want to
Sage,
make
could you
that.
close the doors too? Sorry. Sorry to interrupt you. It's like, it's actually kind of hard to hear. What? Is that what it is? Cool. Okay. Would both president candidates now come up onto the stage? And then if you guys want to try to get into frame. So like that's yours. You have yours. This way. Yeah. So Emmanuel, come.
She's doing pause, right? Or
No, you guys are gonna go like
all right,
just
fair.
and then take a step back. Okay. Emmanuel, you will give your stump speech first. You will have 30 seconds and the time starts now.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Emmanuel David, and I'm a second-year computer science student. Cardinals and I we have shared values that unite us in dedication to the student body, a commitment to challenging the status quo, and a vision for a more equitable campus. Recognizing the crucial role USG plays in student experience, we promise to focus on a one-on-one ratio in student government operations, which emphasizes meeting individual students at their needs. And this will be achieved by direct advocacy, transparency in action and decision, tailored support initiative, individual representation, and resource allocation. Our commitment is to create an engaged, transparent, and supportive USG.
All right, Shannon, you will now have 30 seconds. You may start now.
Hello, thank you all for taking the time out of your days to come here today. My name is Shannon Brown, and I'm a junior psychology major with minors in disability studies as well as peace and conflict studies. I previously served as the director of business operations for Kent and Hall last year, and I'm currently an RA in Centennial Court B and a hearing officer. I currently serve as the senator for the Honors College and the Academic Senate co-chair in USG. Jessica and I plan to bridge the gap between student organizations and student government and align interests for the student body.
Thank you. All right, Emmanuel, you will have 3 minutes to answer this question. And then Shannon, you'll have 2 minutes and we'll do what we did.
Yeah, fair. Go on.
What is your inspiration for running for the student body president? You have 3 minutes. You may start.
I think my inspiration is being a student here in Kent campus and seeing that the changes that need to be made, not just as a student of color or as an international student, that as USG, we have so many breaches that we need to get, like there's so many gaps we need to actually tackle. And that is why I'm running. And I'm grateful that I've been on USG for 2 years. That sets me on the right path to being a student body president.
Thank you. Shannon, you will now have 2 minutes. What is your inspiration for running for student body president?
So ever since I was 12 years old, I've been advocating for student government and student government positions that I've held throughout my entire course of my life since middle school. And I've had an ample amount of experience in visible change that I've been able to see through my efforts, such as recently, Jessica Starkey and I have managed to remove the ableist language nature on the elevator signs that take the stairs, if you're all familiar with that. Jesse and I worked to get that removed. And I've been committed to helping the students at Kent State ever since I stepped foot on campus in 2022. And I'm committed to making USG for the students and remove some of the invisible barriers that exist between students and USG as a whole. And I wish for students to be more student-facing with student organizations and advocate for the needs of all students, not just those who reach out to us directly. And we plan to do this through a nonpartisan approach, as USG should be, representing all students, regardless of Jesse and I's own personal opinions. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Sorry. You will now have 3 minutes to answer this question, Shannon, and then Emmanuel, you will have 2 minutes. The student body president often faces unexpected challenges that impact the entire student body. Previous examples of this include the COVID-19 pandemic hitting mid-semester, incidents of hateful vandalism on campus, and issues surrounding the transition to in-house culinary providers. When a campus crisis that you did not expect happens, what strategies may you use to determine a course of action? Do I need to repeat the question?
No.
Okay. You have 3 minutes. You may start.
Thank you. So, as we are all aware, there have been, as Olivia said, there are many issues that have been facing our campus on such a broad scale recently. And as a realist, I know that as one person, I can't tackle this all alone. So I believe personally that the presidential role is mainly a managerial role for the organization, supporting the directors and senators within USG. And those directors and senators reach out to their populations to see what they need and how you can help them. So that's one approach that I plan on taking, is reaching out to the directors and senators to see how I can help them and how they can in turn help their constituents. And also, I'm willing and able to reach out to different student orgs for their help and expertise. Throughout our campaign period, Jesse and I have been reaching out to different student organizations to build that trust that they have in us now, so they feel comfortable reaching out to us if future issues do arise. I also plan on delegating different tasks and different directors that fall under their categories and having specific timelines and deadlines to get these issues solved. There's no reason that if we have an issue, it should take months and months to solve. We should be enacting that right away. And also, as the president, I will have privilege to talk to higher administration, such as Todd Dyken, the provost, and student life, and I can talk to them directly based on the information that I gather from the students directly, because all in all, I'm here to represent the students, not just myself and my own interests.
Thank you. All right. Emmanuel, you have 2 minutes. The student body president often faces unexpected challenges that impact the entire student body. Previous examples of this include the COVID-19 pandemic hitting mid-semester, incidents of hateful vandalism on campus, and issues surrounding the transition to in-house culinary providers. When a campus crisis that you did not expect happens, what strategies may you use to determine a course of action? Do you need me to repeat?
No, that's right.
Okay. You have 2 minutes. You may start now.
I think thankfully I've been on USG for 2 years. And now as a director of community affairs, have been able to garner a relationship with not just admin and people in the community. And from my experience in USG, I think to tackle issues like this, we need to come as a community. All of the issues we've done in USG and in tackling events like this is when we rely on other student org. Every single person in this room plays a role in that. We all come here today because of this. If we have an issue tomorrow in the community, we come together, tackle it as a community. That way, that's how it's go. USG cannot do this on its own. We have to do this with everyone in this room.
Okay, thank you. All right. And you guys have an extra question since you're running for president. So I got a third question for you. Sorry. Okay. So you will have 2 minutes. Wait, sorry. You will have 3 minutes.
Yeah.
You will have 2 minutes. Okay. What current issues surrounding this campus do you hope to address and tackle during your term as student body president if elected? You have 3 minutes.
So our slogan is putting students first. and we're going to be 100 years to this in coming months. I think there's been a lapse in owning up to that promise we made to our students. And that is something I'm looking forward to. There are other ways we can actually reach out to students. And what Courtney and I are planning is handling this in a one-on-one ratio basis. It means meeting people at their needs. If it requires us to do what we feel is not going to make sense, let's say standing by the K, which is something I remember chatting with Jenna in the past. If it requires us to stand by the K and make sure that we tell students that we're here for them, we have to do that. We just can't sit in our comfort and make sure and hope things would happen. So yeah, that's what we're planning for.
Thank you. Shannon, you'll have 2 minutes. What current issues surrounding this campus do you hope to address and tackle during your term as student body president if elected? You have 2 minutes. You may start now.
Thank you. So one of the biggest issues that I've seen as a student, as well as Jesse has seen as a student, are we are both disabled individuals. And within this, we have seen a lack of accessibility on Kent's campus. And this is an initiative that President Julie Bongiorno is currently pursuing, and we plan to continue that and further that even more. So within that, 2 of our platform points include universal design within classrooms. So what that means is contrasting colors for slideshows, posting slideshows before lectures, things like that to make classroom materials more accessible to students and readily available. Additionally, we plan on updating KSU mobile app to create an alert system for elevator downages, so students with accessibility issues do not have to hike all the way across campus if the elevator is down and they cannot reach their classroom. Additionally, our biggest thing and the thing we're most proud of is our syllabus bank idea. The syllabus bank would allow students to know the classes before they sign up for them. So you know exactly what is in the syllabi from the professor before you sign up for the class. And this pertains mainly to Kent Core and electives. So it helps reduce withdrawal rates. And I've been in connection with many presidents from across the country, including those from Harvard University who have seen this work. And I plan on contacting them and reaching out to them and seeing how we can best implement this at Kent State's campus. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Sorry. I need to. So I'm gonna pull some questions from the audience and just give me 1 second to look at them.
You're good.
Okay. You will have 1 minute to answer this question, and we'll pull 2 audience questions. So you'll each have 2 questions. Okay. Emmanuel.
Yeah.
What is your most feasible goal should you be elected as student body president? You have 1 minute.
I think our visible goal is to gather here in the next 1 year and said that what every senator and director hope to achieve, we all achieved it as a collective. That means each of us putting our personal goals aside and deciding that, okay, as a collective, this is what's important to our students, and we should start putting that first. So that will be my biggest goal.
Okay, thank you. Shannon, what is your most feasible goal should you be elected for student body president? You have 1 minute. Go.
Thank you. So I would say our most feasible goal at the current moment, while all of these on our platform are feasible because we've talked to the people that can make it happen, but one of the most feasible goals is connecting out to student organizations and building that connection between student organizations and USG. We have resources such as allocations to give them, and not many of them are not aware of that. And student organizations should not be having to pay out of their own pockets all the time to fund their events. So I would say through and through again, Jesse and I are committed and having open office hours to be there for the student organizations. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry. Just got a bunch of them. Emmanuel, how do you plan to help the students that may not have the same issues you personally have? You have 1 minute. You may go.
I think that's the idea of what Courtney and I are doing. It's not what I have, it's not what she has, it's not what USG member has, it's what the student have. So the point is going out in the community and finding out, let's be intentional about finding out what people need and acting towards it. So that's why it's not my goal, it's not our goal. It's not USG members' goal, it's our students' goal. So if you think about putting students first, it's easy. You know, it's not rocket science, it's not far-fetched. We know what students need. We just need to be intentional about doing what our student needs.
All right, thank you. Shannon, how do you plan to help the students that may not have the same issue? Sorry, I'm going to restart that. Shannon, how do you plan to help the students that may not have the same issues you have personally? You have 1 minute. You may go.
Thank you. So, as I mentioned before, in the Constitution, it says that USG needs to be nonpartisan. As of right now, we do lean towards one side more than the other in a lot of the goals that we have made. But one thing that Jesse and I have already shown and proven to do is we made a resolution about House Bill 27, and USG passed it unanimously. And that resolution ensures financial transparency within all universities. And this was actually a Republican sponsored resolution, like from the actual House Bill Senate. And while Jesse and I are not of that political belief, we still believe that nonpartisanship is important.
All right, thank you. If I could have silence in the audience. You guys can go sit down. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's 2 questions, right? Yeah. Okay. Hi, if I could have the vice presidents now come up on stage. See, now we know like where to stand. Now we don't have to awkwardly move around. Okay. All right. So we're gonna go back to the 2 minutes. So you will have, Courtney, you'll have 2 minutes. You have 1 minute, 2 minutes, 1 minute, and then you only have 2 questions. And I'm trying to think if there is anything else. And then you guys will have 1 question from the audience instead of 2. Okay. Courtney, if you want to start your stump speech, you have 30 seconds. You may start now.
Hi, my name is Courtney Simpson. I am a junior public relations major. As Manny previously highlighted, our platform is built on the following foundational platforms: direct advocacy, your voice, our mission, advocating for every flash every day; transparency and action and decision, clear paths, open doors, every decision, every action fully visible; tailored support initiative, custom solutions for diverse flashes because not one size fits all; individual representation, every student.
Okay. Jesse, you now have 30 seconds. You may give your stump speech. You may start now.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jessica Starkey. I am a junior political science and history double major with a pre-law minor. I am currently serving as the Director of Governmental Affairs on USG, and I have for the past 2 years. I am also the Vice President and Treasurer of the Kent State Women's Rugby Team, and I am also a hearing officer for Student Code of Conduct. My platform with Shannon Brown is about advocacy for students.
Sorry. Thank you. All right. Courtney, you have 2 minutes. One of your roles will be to hold USG members accountable to their duties and expectations. How will you approach this tough conference? I'm sorry, I'm going to restart the question. One of your roles will be to hold USG members accountable to their duties and expectations. How will you approach tough conversations, and how will you balance friendship and accountability? You have 2 minutes. You may start now.
Okay, so I actually hold a couple student leadership roles now on campus. Being an RA is one. Having conflict issues almost every other day is something that I have to deal with. So dealing with that in USG wouldn't be a problem. Keeping people sane, having action plans and SMART goals is something that is something that I would do in order to take initiative to get answers to any problems that maybe have and like behind the scenes in order to have the outside not go crazy from the inside.
All right, thank you. Jessica, you have 1 minute to answer the question. One of your roles will be to hold USG members accountable to their duties and expectations. How will you approach tough conversations, and how will you balance friendship and accountability? You have 1 minute. You may start now.
All right, so first, we're all here as the General Assembly to have a role. We have a job to complete. Also, I have been here for the past 2 years. I've seen through accountability what has worked and what hasn't. So instead of having to make my own mistakes and learning from that, I am able to learn from past experiences and seeing where that line is, because it is a delicate line. We all want to be friends, but at the same time, we all have a job to do, and we're here for the student body. So I plan to have very clear expectations with the assembly of what is and isn't acceptable and what we should have as our jobs.
All right, thank you. Jessica, you will have 2 minutes to answer this question, and then Courtney, you will have 1 minute. In your eyes, what is the role of USG in regards to student life on Kent State's campus? Jessica, you have 2 minutes. You may start now.
I think that we take many roles, but I think our biggest one is advocacy. I think that through advocacy, we are a connecting tool to hire people in admin and throughout the university. In USG, we are not only representing ourselves, but also the entirety of the student body population and each senator's position. So really working through each to consider and encourage each organization, really having that open communication so that we can give them resources and help advocate for them when there are resources that they don't have access to.
Thank you. All right, Courtney, you have 1 minute. In your eyes, what is the role of USG in regards to student life on Kent State's campus? You have 1 minute. You may start now.
On top of advocacy, transparency is really important. Being an incoming freshman, when I was a freshman, I didn't really know about USG or what was happening behind closed doors. So if elected, I think having transparency about what is going on behind closed doors to our students is something that is important, so they are aware of what's happening, on top of building connection with marginalized groups, so they are aware of what's going on and their voices can be heard too, so we can advocate for them as well.
Okay, thank you. All right, you will each be asked the same question, and you have 1 minute to answer. Courtney, you'll start. Okay. What do you think the biggest challenge in this role will be, and what strategies will you use to handle it? You have 1 minute. You may start now.
Probably a lot of opinions, which it can be hard, but as working as one together, there's nothing that we can't do. So that's what I think a big challenge may be, and being underrepresented, being someone that's in such a big role on campus. Someone will look at me and think that I wouldn't be able to do it, but it's a lot of things that I can do, holding a lot of leadership positions on this campus.
Okay, thank you. All right, Jessica, you will have 1 minute as well to answer this question. What do you think the biggest challenge in this role will be, and what strategies will you use to handle it? You have 1 minute. You may start now.
Okay. I think that part of it is through playing that line of accountability and having a camaraderie. We are here to support the student body, and throughout my leadership in USG and elsewhere, I have been able to see that and how we can accomplish our goals and still have a positive environment and a positive workforce. But yeah, I think that working with student organizations and being open for them. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. You may both go sit down. You guys did great. Thank you. I'm trying to keep these far away so you don't get that horrible noise. Okay. Can the candidates running for Director of Student Advancement now approach the stage? just a quick shout out. Every time I announce something, Leah just jumps to the applause. And I just think that's so great. Thank you for the encouragement of everybody. You can have this mic. And then if you just want to stand. Okay. All right. Since there's only one of you, you'll just get one question from me, one question from the audience, and then you're done. Okay. How will you continue to sustain projects from the previous director of student advancement, for example, the Judicial Advocates Program, while also creating your own initiatives and programs?
Stump speech.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. So sorry. You have 30 seconds to give your stump speech.
Well, hi, everyone. I am Sterling Baumgartner. I am a second-year student studying public health, and I am running for USG because I simply have always cared for people. And coming onto this college campus, I've realized that I really love student government.
All right, thank you. Now you will have 2 minutes to answer a question. What will you do to promote peer mentorship across campus? You have 2 minutes. You may start now.
So with peer mentorship, I think USG doesn't do like reaching out to other student orgs sometimes that very well. So I think that like making sure that student orgs know that we're there for them and reaching out to them, even if it's like an Instagram DM, like I think that is really important, and making sure that they know there's a contact that they can, talk to in USG.
All right, thank you. And then questions from the audience? Okay. All right. 1 minute, sorry. You will have 1 minute to answer this. What are you most proud of from your time at Kent State University? You have 1 minute. You may start now.
I think my most proudest moment so far is probably doing the mental health campaign with Dr. D, the Dean of Students. I think that mental health is a big part of my life, and I think that I've always wanted to go somewhere with advocacy for it. And doing the mental health campaign back in the fall was really cool. It was a really cool experience, and getting to see my face be like a part of the mental health campaign here is really cool. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. You may go have a seat. And the candidate for Director of Academic Affairs now come up on the stage. I do have to note that this is the role I currently have in USG, and this role has such a special place in my heart. I'm so excited to hear your answers. So you first start with a stump speech, and I'm never going to forget that you start with a stump speech ever again. I promise. So you have 30 seconds, and you may start now.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nate Lennox. I am a sophomore international relations major. And my goals is the way to put it. My goals for Director of Academic Affairs is to utilize the Academic Senate to create lots of awesome programs and events.
Thank you. You will now have 2 minutes to answer this question. And yeah, all right. The Director of Academic Affairs helps to oversee the Academic Senate, ensuring that they are supported and being held accountable. What specific steps or methods will you take to make sure the Academic Senate is supported in all of their endeavors? You have 2 minutes. You may start now.
So one of my goals as Director of Academic Affairs is to utilize Academic Senate by making a very strong community of collaboration within them. And the ways that I will support them throughout their endeavors is by being a constant resource for them and having an open door policy so they can always come and touch base with me whenever they need to.
All right, thank you. Okay. Collaboration is an important, you will have 1 minute. Collaboration is an important part of the undergraduate student government. How will you promote a collaborative work environment while holding this role? You have 1 minute. You may start now.
Oh, I love this question. The way I'm going to facilitate a collaborative environment within the Academic Senate is mostly dependent on how, as I get to know the Academic Senate after election season is over. I mostly plan to take a sort of reactive role after the Academic Senate is more solidified. And as I get to grow and know their personalities, I hope to start meeting with them one-on-one and then eventually maybe 3-on-1 and put them in pods in a sense to have them work together on events as a Senate.
Thank you. You may go have a seat. I would like to remind everybody that you should not be on your phones while people are debating. Okay. Could the candidates for Director of Communication and Marketing please come up onto stage? You first get a stump speech. I'm not going to forget that. Okay, I promise. Okay, so Adriana, if you want to start, you'll have 30 seconds to give your stump speech. You may start now.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Adriana Hines. I am a junior criminology major from Washington, D.C. Previously, I've held a role as the Senator for the College of Arts and Sciences on undergraduate student government, and I am running this term for Director of Marketing and Communications because I believe that I can get the job done.
All right, thank you. You will now have 30 seconds to give your stump speech. You may start now.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jenna McMullen. I am a fashion merchandising sophomore here at Kent State. My minors are in advertising, design, and photography. And currently I hold roles in USG as the marketing assistant, as the graphic design assistant. And also I run the Instagram of Kent Sportswear and Sigma Delta Tau. These both have equipped me to run for this position and fulfilled the responsibilities to the best of my ability with the experience to guide me along the way.
All right, thank you. All right, Adriana, you're going to start. You'll have 2 minutes. And then Jenna, you'll have 1 minute, and then we'll switch it. Okay. Your position is reliant on organizational planning and well-executed timing, especially with social media. How will you ensure that posts and other information is communicated effectively with the student body? You have 2 minutes. You may start now.
From the behind-the-scenes standpoint, having a outline dated way to see when things need to be posted and how should they be posted. Different events and things need different forms of marketing. So depending on what it is, I'm not always going to do an Instagram reel. I'm not going to always do an Instagram story post. Sometimes things have to be on your Instagram feed as opposed to you can actually like instead of something you just can scroll past. So having an organized way behind the scenes to have it already listed out for people so that when they do need to add something, say a senator is having an event they need to have promoted, they can have an easy, accessible way to add it. So then from there, it can be posted in a time-friendly way so that things can get done in an accessible way to everyone involved.
All right, thank you so much. All right, Jenna, you'll have 1 minute. Your position is reliant on organizational planning as well as in well-executed timing, especially with social media. How will you ensure that posts and other information is communicated effectively with the student body? You have 1 minute. You may start now.
Personally, something I always go for is a content calendar. You can create these on Canva, Adobe Express, and through separate party apps. You can also do them through Google Calendar. I personally would go through the Canva that USG already has. And doing this is a great way to show up, to show when everything will be posted, how it will be posted, and get it done in time, and especially before the event begins. I will also continue to have the marketing request form, which is where all of USG has an available place to put what they need marketed into a form. That way me and my team would have plenty of time to get it up in time for it to get out to the students. I would also like to have a public calendar on the website and linked in the Instagram bio that can show a week by week, semester by semester, month by month version of what we are doing as USG to all of the students.
All right, thank you so much. Jenna, what specific goals do you have should you be elected into this position, and how will you achieve them? Be as specific as possible. You have 2 minutes. You may start now.
One of the goals that I have that isn't necessarily based on social media, Instagram, TikTok, etc., is creating a council that all incoming students and current students that might not be elected into a position can be on. This would be similar to like a high school student council position, because I remember coming here, went up at Blast Off my freshman year and asked, how can I be involved in student government? Because that was something that was always important to me during high school. I was told that I can't be on it until I'm a sophomore. I can't run for anything. I wasn't told about any of the roles that there are. I think that having an open council, a membership council for all of the students to be in would be an amazing experience for them. They can plan their own events, their own food drives, their own clothes banks, et cetera, et cetera. And then they also can serve as a listening board for lots of people who have committees. A lot of senators need people to bounce their ideas off of. We can use them to get research from other student organizations. It would be a great way to get the student body involved in USG and give them an opportunity to go farther with us, and also give us people to put sounding boards on, use them as kind of a case study. As long as they are very open to the ideas, it would all be based on what they want to do and how much they want to put into it.
Okay, thank you. All right, Adriana, you will have 1 minute. What specific goals do you have should you be elected into this position, and how will you achieve them? Be as specific as possible. You have 1 minute. You may start.
One of the goals that I have is making USG more accessible to the student body. A lot of students do know of USG, for example, there are concerts we put on, keynote speakers, or for even allocations, and we've done a really good job promoting those things in the past. But I have heard from a lot of students they have a hard time finding the person representing them for their college, or any of the other people on the board, for example, who don't have specific college they're a part of as a representative, but represents them still. And that's a big thing that I want to focus on. I think being able to make a connection between who the representative is for your college and what they look like and what they do can really help the student body feel more of a connection to undergraduate student government. I also think that being able to promote student organizations and show that they can come to USG for other things outside of money and event promotion is a really helpful thing to do. So those are my main goals.
All right, thank you. Adriana, you will, well, first, you will both have 1 minute to answer the question. All right, Adriana, why are you the best candidate for this role? You have 1 minute. You may start now.
I believe that I'm the best candidate for this role because I have experience on undergraduate student government, as well as experience with marketing and graphic design and things of that nature. And I believe that in this role, I can actually make accessible change to the student body from my personal experiences on USG, from being a student on the outside who just doesn't really know what USG is. I think I can step into this role and make USG a more inclusive place for students to come to, as well as a space for people on the board to grow and change as well.
All right, thank you. Jenna, you will have 1 minute. Why are you the best candidate for this role? You may start now.
I'm the best candidate for this role because I have had the pleasure to work under the current person in this position for the last year. I've gotten to see behind the scenes how this position works and the impact that it has on the student government and also the student body. I think that my experiences at Kent Sportswear as a social media manager, at Sigma Delta Tau as our director of PR and social media, and just in general have equipped me for this, especially with my photography skills. I would be able to take pictures at all of our events, and I can also edit everything very well. And I think that I would be able to get the message across to students very clear.
All right, thank you so much. May I both go sit down? Could the candidates for Director of Finance and Administration now come upstage? You'll have 30 seconds for your stump speech. You may start now.
Hi, everybody. My name is Ryan Bunting. I'm in sophomore standing here at Kent State, and I am a double major in archaeology and international studies. Right now, I started the year as a first-year intern with USG, but I am the current director of finance and administration. Before my time on USG, I was on the Ohio Attorney General's Teen Ambassador Board, and I also serve as a judicial advocate on campus. My main points on campus for this year is transparency and equal opportunity for all students and organizations.
Thank you. And you'll have one question and then one question from the audience. Okay. The Director of Finance and Administration handles the allocations of funds to student organizations. How will you ensure that once allocated, organizations are held accountable for their use of these funds? You have 2 minutes. You may start now.
So this is already in practice right now for our allocations. So we require now that all organizations and students that have received allocated funding from us send us their receipts so we can keep track of how much money they actually spent to make sure that money doesn't go to waste or it's used for things that we didn't provide the money for. We also require students to meet with our Center for Student Involvement if they get programming funds. And the reason we do this is so that we actually purchase the items for the organizations to make sure they don't go over budget or spend money on items that they don't necessarily need.
Okay, thank you. Okay. You'll have 1 minute to answer this question. As a student leader, it is critical to prioritize yourself and your work as a student. How will you delegate responsibilities to the allocations committee to ensure that you are properly supported? You have 1 minute. You may start now.
So because I came into this role in early February because the previous director resigned and then I was appointed, I made sure that my committee and I were on the same page for I wanted to delegate tasks to them. The position that I am running for and I'm currently in right now is a very stressful task to do every single day of the week, months on end. And my biggest thing is you got to make sure that you take care of yourself to make sure that you do good work in the end. So to delegate tasks is one of my main ways that I can rely on my committee to make sure that we are getting good work done for students.
All right, thank you. You may go have a seat. Could the the candidates for Director of Programming now come up on stage? All right, you guys will both start with your stump speech. Ari will start with you, and then you'll go. And yeah, the vibes. All right, you have 30 seconds. You may start now.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Ariane Robinson. I am a junior fashion merchandising major, and I am running for this role because I love programming. I currently serve on USG as the vice chair of programming with Director Johnson. My platform is Students' Voices Matter. I really want to put on events that students can enjoy and that are beneficial and informative, as well as being entertaining and fun.
Sorry, technology. You have 30 seconds to give your stump speech. You may start now.
Hey, so my name is Gianni Weaver. I am a third-year applied communications major. Switched multiple times, so I had to think about that. But yeah, I'm running for director of programming. I love being involved on campus. I love connecting with students. I'm a big connections person. I think the biggest and best places you're going to go in your future are through connections, and I think programming is a great way to get so many new students to come to Kent in the first place, and then go even further as far as like the smaller events that you can do in the colleges and things like that. So
cool. Sorry, I lost my spot. All right. You will have 2 minutes, and then you will have 1 minute, and then we'll switch. Okay. Beyond hosting the fall and spring concerts, what events do you hope to bring to the next academic year? You have 2 minutes. You may start now.
Yeah, so of course, USG programming is known for their concerts, but I spoke on it a little bit yesterday during my TV2 interview. I want to really focus on the smaller events that people don't really think about too often. So I know last semester we hosted Hot Ones with Sean Evans, which was such a great event. So I would want to bring something like that where students can participate and events that are interactive that aren't solely focused on concerts. So more events with like that provide unique opportunities for students.
All right, thank you. You will have 1 minute. Beyond hosting the fall and spring concerts, what events do you hope to bring to the next academic school year? You have 1 minute. You may start now.
Yeah, so of course, director of programming, big concert person, Matt Clark, even Brian, great concerts, but the smaller events are just as important, almost even better. I think me specifically, I want to focus on specific colleges, think about our biggest top colleges, business and fashion and marketing, bring specific people in those fields so that our students have a direct contact and they get like a day in the life in person, not online, so they can ask these people questions and just see what they do day to day. And in the worst case, they are like, I don't like this, and they can go even further and then maybe talk to other people and get right back into their future. So.
All right, thank you. You will have 2 minutes to answer this question. Student participation is often a hard benchmark to predict. How will you ensure that the student body not only attends but participates in the events you plan to host? You have 2 minutes. You may start now.
Yeah, so I actually have a lot of experience working with this now. I am the vice president of Ski Club, one of the largest organizations on campus. So numbers is a big thing, but with that, it's a lot of preparation, making sure all of the information is there and open for everybody to see far in advance from the event. That's the biggest thing. If people have jobs and classes, they want to know what's going on. So marketing is a huge thing. And just making it available to everybody. So not just using Instagram and Facebook, but Twitter, Yik Yak even, just really looking and doing your research on like what time specifically to post things and just being on campus. There's a lot of different events that I haven't even known about. So I think just, taking a day in the week to be on campus, with a flyer or something, a QR code, and even working with the colleges, working with the senates, and just ask them, hey, can you help me promote this event? It can help so many students. So that's what I really want to do.
All right, thank you. You will have 1 minute. Student participation is often a hard benchmark to predict. How will you ensure that the student body not only attends, but participates in the events you host? You have 1 minute. You may start now.
Yeah, so very similar. Again, marketing. Marketing is such an important part of programming because if people don't know you're having events, they're not going to come. So I find it extremely beneficial when you're able to actually get in the faces and actually be in front of students and let them know, hey, we're putting on this event. You should come. And here's why. We do it now in programming. We hand out hot cards. So I would want to continue that initiative and really get face to face with students and let them know about the events that we're putting on.
All right, cool. Thank you. All right, and then we have one question from the audience. You will each have 1 minute. Okay. Within the last year, some programming events resulted in refunds and free admission. If you're elected as director, how do you plan on utilizing your budget adequately while also pleasing the students of Kent State University? You have 1 minute. You may start.
Okay, so one of the initiatives of my platform is to do a student feedback poll to really see what students are interested in. So I feel like gauging the student opinion and seeing what events they want to see brought to Kent State will really help and kind of lessen when we do have to go and resort to free tickets. Because when we're putting on events that students actually want to attend, that'll completely eliminate that aspect.
All right, thank you. Just have to re-pull the question. All right. Within the last year, some programming events resulted in refunds and free admission. If elected as director, how do you plan on utilizing your budget adequately while also pleasing the students of Kent State University? You have 1 minute. You may start now.
Yeah, so kind of what Ariane was saying. go to the students. You know, I love music a lot. I have my favorite artists that I want to see and would love to bring here, but I also have some that are not my favorite, but it's not about me. It's about the students. So going out face to face and asking, you know, doing different polls, doing different events throughout the week, asking what they want to see. Because we're just in this spot as a representative of the student voices. So I really want to focus on that. And then as far as refunds, things happen. You know, COVID was very unexpected, and that ended up, you know, switching things, and artists can sometimes have busy schedules. So working with it, and just kind of having a backup plan, that is a crucial thing in event planning and organizing. So have backup plans, make sure links work, pages work, and have something just in case it doesn't work. So.
All right. Thank you guys. You guys can go sit down.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can the candidate for Director of Governmental Affairs now come up? Okay. You have 30 seconds for your stump speech. You may start now.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. My name is Zach Graves. I'm a junior here at Kent State, majoring in political science and minoring in pre-law, and I'm running for Director of Governmental Affairs. I'm currently the Vice Chair of Governmental Affairs, and I'm also a student leadership consultant in the Leadership Center. I want to work to advance advocacy, engagement, voter education, and civic engagement on our campus. And I think each of these values are extremely important, and I'll work to value each of those each and every day as my in the role.
All right. Thank you. So you'll get one question from me and then one from the audience. All right. Over the past few years, the Director of Governmental Affairs has worked to increase voter participation and turnout in Kent's campus. How will you continue this effort with the upcoming presidential election? You have 2 minutes. You may start now.
Thank you. So this year I've worked a lot with Kent State Votes. They're an incredible nonpartisan organization here on campus that works to enhance voter registration, education, and engagement. And actually this past year for the November election, we saw the highest voter turnout in an off-year election here on campus. So I think that's an incredible achievement. And in the position, I plan to work with Kent State Votes to increase our initiatives that we do voter education workshops, voter panels, events with filling out a sample ballot, knowing about the issues that are coming up, and just making sure that our student body is informed on what's coming up with the elections, and just making sure that they have the resources that they need to cast their votes effectively.
All right. Thank you. You have 1 minute to answer this question. How will you ensure that your personal political beliefs do not affect your ability to work with people of opposing views as Director of Governmental Affairs? You have 1 minute. You may start now.
Thank you. So being in this field, it's very easy to be opinionated. I'm a very opinionated person myself. And I know that it can be hard to step away from the issues. But at the same time, we know that it's vital because representing all of our students is the desire and the purpose of undergraduate student government. And by working with, again, Kent State Votes, which is nonpartisan, I work to advance all information on all candidates and issues, regardless of where I might fall on each of those issues. So I think it's really important just to make sure that we're amplifying all voices, listening to all sides of an argument, and just making sure that clear information is being communicated.
All right. Thank you so much. You can
Thank
have
you.
the seat. All right. Can the candidate for Director of Community Affairs please come up? No, you're fine. You're fine.
I'll just get off the stage.
She said that of her own volition.
Sorry, no.
Okay. You have 30 seconds for your stump speech. You may start now.
Hi, everyone. My name is Maddie Canton, and I'm running for Director of Community Affairs. So some of my past experiences and like current experiences on Kent's campus is I am currently on USG as a senator for EHHS, and I'm also an early childhood education major. Sorry, I totally forgot to add that. Running out of time. And then also, I serve on the panel and council as vice president of recruitment personnel. And then I was also my sorority's executive board. And yeah, good to the rest of it.
She knows how to lighten the mood. Okay. Maddie, you will have one question from me and one from the audience. Okay. A critical part of the Director of Community Affairs is to form positive working relationships with the City of Kent, Chamber of Commerce, Kent safety officers, and beyond. How will you work with these areas to balance the needs of KSU and the Kent communities? You have 2 minutes. You may start now. I'm so sorry. You may start now.
So I'm very like approachable. I have a very outgoing personality, which I think ensures that people feel comfortable talking with me. I'm also a very open-minded person. I love meeting new people. So I think that with me reaching out to people within the community, I'll be a very good like resource for them as they'll be for me, just because I like meeting new people and I like being involved when I can be.
All right, thank you. I'm gonna ask you a question from the audience.
I'm kidding.
Maddie.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I looked at you and I forgot what I was going to say. What is the thing you're most proud of from your time at Kent State University? You have 1 minute. You may start now.
I would say that for me, like getting involved, to be honest, like in high school, I didn't really do anything. I just kind of went to school and I had like 2 friends. But I feel like definitely in college, I went out of my way and like I made really good friends here, which I'm really like happy about. And then also just getting involved. Like I never imagined myself to honestly be on student government. If you told me that, I'd be like, what? And then even just like within like Greek life and stuff, kind of like expanding my connections and stuff. So I would have to say all of those things.
Thank you. You may have a
Thank
seat.
you.
You went. Could the candidates for Director of Student Involvement now take the stage?
Thank you. Am I standing right? Okay.
So used to like one person coming from this side, you can right by each other. Okay. You will each have 30 seconds for your stump speech. Yeah, I was expecting to say more. You may start now.
Me?
Yes.
Hi friends. My name is Connor Piotrowski. I'm a second-year integrated mathematics major. Some of my involvement here at Kent State, I am a PSA trainer and I was an orientation leader, going to be an orientation leader again. So I'm very familiar with understanding how to get people involved, how to create that, I just choked, warm environment and honestly just creating just an overall welcoming experience.
All right, thank you. Don't joke again. April, you have 30 seconds to give your stump speech. You may start now.
Hi, everyone. My name is April Hanneman. I'm currently a rising sophomore fashion merchandising major with a minor in fashion media. Some of my involvement here on campus includes Greek Life, Fashion Student Organization, Dress Up for Downs, and A Magazine as a member on the diversity committee. So I was also very involved in high school in a lot of different things. So I've seen firsthand how getting involved can be very beneficial to students. So I would like to aid in that process in this role.
All right, thank you. Connor, you'll have 2 minutes, and then April, you'll have 1 minute, and then we'll switch. Many students struggle with getting involved when they come to campus, especially later in their college careers. How will you bridge the gap for students who want to join a club or an extracurricular activity, but have reservations about it or just don't know how to? Connor, you have 2 minutes. You may start now.
Oh, wow. I actually love this question because I went through that my first year. I was very much a shut-in. I was in my own shell. And honestly, taking like PSA or taking courses that really just are meant to boost community, make friends was my way that I slingshot into being more involved with being like a really big advocate for Blast Off and KSU Kickoff to all these new students. I really wanted them to try to find something that they are interested in and going to the student and saying like, okay, don't try to find like something that looks fun, something that is fun for you, and really implementing a time where or an environment where it is okay to do what you want to do. Everyone is unique and everyone has their own passions, their own goals, and really just kind of following through with, no matter if it's your first year, your fourth year, you are always welcome to join, to do things that will build your own community and fill your own goals.
Okay, thank you. April, you'll have 1 minute to answer the question. Many students struggle with getting involved when they come to campus, especially later in their college careers. How will you bridge the gap for students who want to join a club or an extracurricular activities, but have reservations about it or just don't know how to? You have 1 minute. You may start now.
So as a freshman right now, I've definitely seen this as a prevalent issue. Definitely coming into spring semester, I feel like all the hype and everything is around fall semester. Like we have Blast Off and everything, and there's a lot of hype around joining clubs and getting involved. And then this semester, it's a lot like, oh, like, I don't know, there's not as much like talk about it. So one of my goals of my platform is to have an event like Blast Off for spring semester, because I really think, especially for like transfer students that are coming in spring semester, have zero idea about any of the clubs or anything that's going on. And truthfully, it's really scary to join a club if you don't have anyone to join a club with, and it's very overwhelming for students. So I think, like I said, having an event second semester would be extremely beneficial to the student body to get more people involved.
Okay, thank you. All right, April, you'll have 2 minutes. There are over 400 student organizations on campus. How will you work with them and for them to ensure that they are supported? You have 2 minutes. You may start now.
Okay, so I think that I definitely would like to have a committee if I'm elected into this position, because 400 clubs and organizations, that is extremely overwhelming as one person to tackle. And I think having a diverse people on a committee would be phenomenal, because that'll help me gauge what kind of involvement and steps we need to take. So I think that is definitely what I would want to do in order to balance communicating with all of those organizations.
All right, thank you. Connor. There are over 400 organizations on campus. How will you work with them and for them to ensure that they are supported? You have 1 minute. You may start now.
Okay, so I know I have made many connections with people that are involved with having these higher up positions within these clubs, and I really want to work with them, get their opinions on what their issues may have been, whether it's been communication or involvement, and really kind of working with them to see what kind of strategies we can implement to allow them to be supported and allow them to be heard and continue with kind of flourishing as their own student organization.
All right, thank you so much. Okay. Connor, what are you most proud of at your time at Kent? Wait, scratch that. I apologize. Connor, what makes you the best candidate for this role? You have 1 minute. You may start now.
I think what makes me the best candidate is through my experience of being a orientation leader and through being a PSA trainer, creating these environments and creating these opportunities for people, no matter what their background is, or if they're a first year, second year, whatever, really implementing this style of accepting like what they are doing is what they're worth, their passions are heard, and honestly they can do whatever they want to do as long as they have the dream to do it. So really just allowing them to grow as a peer and grow as themselves.
All right, thank you. April, what makes you the best candidate for this role? You have 1 minute.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I truly believe that I'm the best candidate for this role because of my experiences throughout my life, being involved in so many different types of organizations. Like in high school, I was in theater, choir, a volunteer type club, and lots of different things. I also worked with my youth ministry, so I think I kind of have a wide variety of experiences. So I think that I have a lot of knowledge about different types of organizations that we would have on campus. So I believe with this knowledge that I could be really great in this position. And I also think that with my current connections on campus, would be very beneficial to this role as well.
All right, thank you. You guys can go sit down. That's what we like to see. Okay, I believe everyone has now completed their debates. Yay! I was like really scared when I announced that. I was like, oh my God, did I forget somebody? I went over the list like 3 times. I did not forget any of you. So you are all free to go. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about how debates went, if you have questions about election day, which is next Tuesday and Wednesday, and the watch party's at 7 o'clock on Wednesday downstairs. So please all come. Candidates, you're required to come, but all your friends could come too. And yeah, you guys are all free to go. Thank you guys for coming out.